Back in action, folks. Alright. It's obviously you need magic. Unless you still need magic. And I guess it was obvious she was gonna die. Justice, go see if you can handle them. I just locked up again. Alright folks, welcome back. I lost one of my members in this time, but I am still trying to take her down. And I'm not really doing well, to be honest with you folks. I'm really low on potions and everything else, but... well, mana potions anyway, I have one left. As I said, that's the last of the Lyrium. Oh, and you just sapped everything. Oh no, that's not good at all, folks. That's very ungood. Alright, you can still greater stamina. Onslaught. Is that enough to... it might have been if... I'm just about out of potions too, folks. Sweeping strike. Do everything you got, Toegoff. I think we got her here, folks. Damn!
I'll show you.
You. Why didn't you use the two-handed sword? Why'd you use that dinky thing? Why did you... That's disappointing. Just walks away.
This hurts. It hurts a lot.
And that's it, folks. After the deaths of both the Architect and the Mother, nearly all the remaining Darkspawn fled back into the Deep Roads. The raids on Amaranthine came to an abrupt end. Although some of the Architect's disciples likely escaped into the Deep Roads with the rest of their brethren, they have, so far, shown no inclination towards vengeance against the Grey Wardens who killed their savior. Yet the Deep Roads remain plagued by the Darkspawn, and it seems certain that in time another Blight will begin. The danger may have passed for now, but the cycle of the old gods continues. Word of the Grey Warden's heroic salvation of Amaranthine spread like wildfire. When the magnitude of the losses at Vigil's Keep came to light, sympathy drove generous donations from all over Ferelden into the region's coffers. Amaranthine was restored to her former glory within a year, Vigil's Keep in 5. Because of the warden's support for law and order in Amaranthine, Constable Aiden and his men were able to distribute the smugglers' goods to the battered survivors in the grueling days that followed the Darkspawn defeat. The Darkspawn messenger, set free after joining the wardens in the Battle of Amaranthine... I thought I killed him. Didn't I say kill him? Now, struck out on his own, the city soon buzzed with stories of a cloaked but lisping figure who aided travelers in danger. At the same time, reports of isolated cases of the Darkspawn disease emerged. No one connected the two. The war devastated the farmholds of the Arling, but the land survived. In time, opportunity would attract settlers from other regions, as always. Dirk, one of the pranksters behind the Blight orphan scam, was fortunate enough to survive the Battle of Amaranthine. The unconditional generosity of the Blight orphan's mysterious benefactor inspired him to establish a legitimate charity dedicated to children orphaned in the attack. His sweetheart, Melise, eventually bore him 2 rascals. Vigil's Keep stood alone against the horde of Darkspawn. The Mother's forces outnumbered the Vigil's defenders many times over. But the sturdy dwarven walls proved impervious to boulder and ogre... I'm sorry, but the sturdy... I'm excited at that. But the sturdy dwarven walls proved impervious to any boulder an ogre could throw. The Vigil soldiers, clad in silverite, each felled a dozen Darkspawn before they died. The Vigil held 1 night, then 2, then a week, and eventually the attacking horde broke upon her walls. The keep developed an almost mythic reputation, the few survivors immortalized in song and legend. Peace allowed the wardens to replenish their numbers. Soon Vigil's Keep bore a capable army with wardens at its core. From their ranks emerged new heroes to challenge threats to Amaranthine and all of Ferelden. Through taxes and levies, the Vigil was rebuilt. Years later, Valdric Glavenok stood on the battlements and pronounced that the defenses were acceptable. He would never speak more highly on any human engineering. Some nobles claim the wardens were involved in Ban Esmerail's disappearance on the eve of the final battle against the Darkspawn. Dark whispers hint that a conspiracy to oust the wardens from Amaranthine is still afoot. Among the many legends that the Vigil spawn was one of the great heroes of the next age, a sheep herder turned soldier by the name of Sir Alec the Valiant, who eventually founded an order of knights that lasted 1,000 years. The commander's blade, Vigilance, crafted from the bones of an ancient dragon, was boldly stolen by Antivan What?! The blade changed hands many times thereafter, with some master swordsmen pursuing the weapon their entire lives. Some claim that this legendary blade has had a life of its own and that its power steadily growing. The Vigil soldiers, wearing the distinctive silverite armor that Master Wade crafted, came to be known as the Silver Order. Under the tutelage of the Wardens, the Silver Order developed into one of Ferelden's most revered military forces, a lasting memory of the Vigil's famous commander. With Valena and the Architect gone from the region, the Pilgrim's Path began to see traffic again. The massacre of the militiamen and the merchants, however, led to hostilities between their neighboring human settlements and the Dalish clans that passed by. One human villager soon kidnapped and murdered a Dalish child. The clans reacted by giving the Wending Wood a wide berth, but both sides know that at some point the elves will return for revenge. A few years later, Calharol was emptied of Darkspawn. Orzammar began sending expeditions to rediscover the knowledge of smithing that had been lost within the Tig. Come on, come on. Eventually, House Helmi decided that Calharol was too important to be abandoned. At a tremendous cost of dwarven lives, they cleared the tunnels leading to Calharol of all Darkspawn, making the road between Orzammar and the fortress safe again. Calharol was reclaimed for Orzammar once and for all. As promised, Valdric and Dworkin presented Orzammar's Shaperate with the stone marker that told of how Calharol's castles had taken up arms against the Darkspawn. The commander of the Grey was invited to Orzammar as a guest of honor at a feast commemorating the defenders of Calharol. The Shaper read names of the castles off the marker, then presided over a ceremony to return them to the stone as befitted warriors of their stature. In time, the Arling began to forget the tale of apparitions in the Black Marsh, and ever so slowly, settlers drifted into the region. Scholars said the veil was still thin and thus the area still dangerous, but the people only cared that there were no longer frightened whispers in the shadows. The village slowly rebuilt. Twice the Baroness's mansion was rebuilt and occupied, once by a wealthy merchant and another time by an Orlesian mage. Both died mysteriously afterwards. The mansion was torn down completely and the site left untouched. Oh, you know what? I should cut it off here. I'll be right back, folks.